Fight Club, part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2, we're here. So part 1, we just did a simple unboxing, showed what came essentially with the camera. Of course, both cameras were inoperable out of the box.
Inoperable.
So you needed to get at least a lens and some different accessories.
Bunch of things we'll go over.
Exactly. So, hey, you're out there, going to buy one of these cameras, you're considering the cameras, we're going to talk about the essentials.
The essentials.
The essentials. So I'm going to start with the BlackMagic camera. The BlackMagic camera, as we saw in part 1, came with the body and came with the strap. The battery was built in, and the lens was built in.
The battery lasts how long?
Approximately 2 hours. That was the negative we discussed. We said, hey, maybe, you might want 2 cameras. You might have to have some sort of additional power supply, which obviously the Red has. So we'll get into that in a second. So I'm going to just go over the essentials here for the camera. I have the BlackMagic handles here. This is some sort of handling system is essential. I kind of put the top one to be comparable to you here, but I'm going to call this the 747 yoke handle. Kind of feels like you're driving a 747. You got the yoke, which actually great for kind of a going in shot, kind of neat. These handles, again, well built like the camera, that kind of same Mac Pro Tower steel feel, very nice. They retail under $200. Of course, then you have the third-party accessories that are just coming out the ears, just like they did for Red. In this case, wooden camera, top handle, very popular Red and DSLR accessory company. Got that one there. And that handle's probably around, I don't know, around $100 or so, just for that. And then you've got the accessory shoe. But then, of course, you got the lens. And so we're comparing, we have the same lens on each camera. We got the Canon EOS 24-70, kind of one of those essential must-have lenses for either camera.
Right.
And
it's pretty popular lens.
Pretty popular, and if you just look at the
DSLR user.
Exactly. You look at the footprint, a little bit more tighty-whitey here with the BlackMagic, I must say. So you've got the lens. We've got the same hood on. Now the big difference is, of course, the monitor. I've got my monitor built in, and yours is a accessory, and you'll go into that in a second. And of course, I have the infamous strap. Now I would not wear this strap with this handle combination. You'd be kind of hunchbacked, bent over
heavy there.
with the heavy, but it's pretty
heavy.
heavy.
How much does that weigh, by the way?
I wish I had my digital scale, but I got to say this has got to be solid 12 pounds right now, the way it is. It's pretty heavy. But, some options. Of course, you'll need an SSD, and we talked about that before, the SSD drawer here. You would need an SSD. The big difference, again, is this uses a standard approved. There's about a handful of approved SSDs, but they're kind of readily available in the marketplace compared to, again, the Red ecosystem, and you'll get into those SSDs in a second. Right. So basically, this is what a working rig would basically consist of. Your lens,
this is
your
ready
body.
To go.
Ready to go. I'm ready to shoot. Got the SSD. I'm shooting. I'm having fun. Total cost, less than $5,000.
Less than $5,000?
Yeah, so less than $5,000, I'm shooting. I'm out of the box, shooting, less than $5,000. So go ahead, take away the Red.
The Red, well, again, out of the box, from the last video you saw, we had the brain with the side SSD module. Now that in of itself makes the camera inoperable. So obviously you need a few things as well.
Exactly.
Lens, same one. But you need ultimately 2 solutions, a power source and a control source. Actually, I take that back, 3, a monitoring base. So here we go for my setup here. This is very bare bones, stripped down to be pretty much the essentials. So again, you have your lens, which just goes right into the contacts, the Canon's aluminum contacts, which is very nice. It has this locking system.
Oh, that's
here,
nice. Yeah, that is
which
nice.
The BlackMagic does not have.
That's correct.
Very strong, very durable. But again, you can switch this out for PL, Nikon, Leica, just about anything you can think of.
And can you do that yourself?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Very simple. 4 little screws off and on, and couldn't hurt a fly. Okay. So very quick, very simple to use.
Okay.
But also, so then we move on to power. In this case, I am using a V-mount battery, which lasts to about 4 hours long each
And that's an Anton Bauer standard
yeah,
V-mount,
Anton Bauer V-mount, very similar. These run through, this is in particular a battery backplate made by, again, Wooden Camera. So everything is, this is a lot of third-party accessories are available for this. Red makes one as well for their red bricks. But this just goes right into the DC input in the back, which is also, you know, you can connect it into a DC.
And that's standard.
Battery ports, very standard,
Okay.
very standard. But also, if you did not want to go this route, Red has released a side control handle where you can put in a Red Volt into the side. Or they also have released some battery modules that go on the back for a dual battery module where you can put 2 Red Volts in the back, or as well as 4, a quad battery module. That can just eat, again, this thing is extremely modular, just builds out every which way. So, that's lens, battery, then we have monitoring and controls. So, monitoring solution is Red makes a 5-inch, 7-inch, even a 9-inch LCD. Again, we have outputs for an HDMI, HD SDI, as well as Red's standard EVF LCD outlet for the BOM and other things of that nature.
But you have to get their monitor. You can't run the camera without at least their monitor, correct?
That's not true. You can actually use a third-party monitor for the camera, but you need some way to control the camera. And we're going to go into that right next here.
Okay.
This, in particular, is the 5-inch touchscreen monitor. That way, it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. I have the opportunity to control the camera through the touchscreen, as well as onboard monitoring solution. So, Red makes these also in the 7-inch size and others in that nature. But so that way you don't have to rely just on the touchscreen. Their side handle is another way to control and get through the menus in the system, as well as they will have a remote, the Red remote that is wireless to the camera. So again, the whole thing about the Red is it's modular. So you can build out almost for any experience, any
But so with
situation.
the side control, you can just use the monitor for monitoring, is that correct? So you can get a side control?
Yes, you can get any monitor that would connect in via HDMI, HD SDI out, and then use the side control to use and work through the menus. And as well, then you get the side control. It kills a bird for the battery. You can put a Red Volt in. So again, this thing about this, it's built for every, depending on the situation that works for you in your workplace. It is a tool. On this particular setup also, I have an Israeli arm that Red makes, which is kind of a magical thing where you can loosen it in just about any position you want, tighten it back up, and it's right ready to go. Very simple, very quick to use.
And that is additional too, that is a separate...
This is an additional cost, but again, you can mount these things directly onto the camera via the many mounting options. Also, Red uses their own SSDs. I do not believe there are any third-party SSDs out there, but these are very strong, very fast.
Right.
And they're called Red Mags.
They're nice. They're
Quick
nicely
lock
well
and
made.
load.
Yeah, they're very nicely made. Very strong steel, metal style
strong
casing.
steel, yeah. And the best thing about it is literally just slides right in. I'm locked and loaded, ready to go. It sticks out so you can always tell what you have in there and the size card. So, I mean, this is a professional camera.
No doubt. I would say this is professional. Now, basically what we're looking at here today, what's the theoretical value of what we're looking at?
Value now, being the fact that the camera's about, 9,000, lenses too. These are about 2,000. I mean, this is about a $15,000, getting closer to $20,000 purchase.
Setup. Okay, so we got, let's just call it $15,000 to $16,000 for a basic.
Basic.
That's what I need to go out and
essentials.
shoot. Versus $5,000, maybe $6,000 that I can go out and shoot. Of course, different image sizes. I'll give it.
Different.
I'll give it that.
Features.
But I'm going to have to again say, Jared, that Fight Club, out of the box, get to shoot. I'm going to have to give BlackMagic again the win on this just because of the cost.
Out of the box for the cost, but you pay for what you get too as well.
Well, understandable. I mean, we haven't gotten into the image quality yet, and there's plenty of videos out there on the internet with that.
Plenty.
But I'm going to have to say, again, for someone who maybe is coming out of the Canon or been in the Canon world, got lots of Canon lenses, and wants to kind of play with this upscale size video.
Yes, moving from
There's a very simple upgrade here. Can be somewhat pricey upgrade to go that level right there.
This is much more of a commitment.
Exactly. A commitment to the Red ecosystem.
Yes, definitely into the Red ecosystem.
And this is a
which they
kind
take
of
care of you.
Exactly, and this is a kind of a commitment to, well, I might try the bigger frame size and see how it looks. So there you go, folks. Fight Club Part 2, the essentials. I think BlackMagic won again. Again, we're not comparing images. We're not comparing images. But we're having fun just kind of shooting out what it takes to basically do this. So there's a lot of videos on YouTube, folks, as you saw, but the difference is they don't really tell you how to build a rig. Right. And, you know, that's what we're going to kind of do there. If you want to go see image quality, we're playing a video behind us. There's been great jobs done with that. Little Bloom, he's got a great video. There's another one with the Canon that's out there. We're going to focus on what you need to get done what you're done in this series. So part 3 is going to be basically the add-ons, the toys, you know, the things that somebody wants. So we'll see you in part 3 momentarily.